Good evening, everyone. This is John Screaming Eamon here with Mykey Massacre from Mykey Massacre and the Tragedy Boys. Mikey, how you doing tonight?
I am good. How are you?
Doing well, thank you. Thank you for taking some time with me this evening.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Very welcome. So, who are the Tragedy Boys, Mikey?
It's essentially my backing band. It's my friends who help me out in live settings because I can't play every instrument myself all at once.
So, do you do all the writing and all the recording yourself?
I do. Yeah, I actually just finished recording a new song a few days ago, and I did everything on it.
Can we get a teaser what that one's called?
Yeah, it's called Night Smasher. It's actually
All right.
inspired by my dog, whose name is Smash.
Oh, nice. What kind of dog you got?
A Samoyed. He basically looks like a polar bear.
Yep. Yeah. Big animal.
Yeah.
So I noticed your last release you just released, correct me if I'm wrong, was Witch Slave, right? That was the most recent one.
Yep. January.
Yeah. How many songs are going to be on this next album, and when can we expect the next album to be out?
Yeah, so I don't really release albums. I really release singles. I kind of release a song at a time. And that format I've kind of had for the past 5 years now. And this new song will be coming out the day before my birthday, actually, September 4th, just under a month from now.
All right. So you just don't want to put out albums because I know you've got a couple of full lengths and an EP out there.
Yeah, so those are like they're just like instrumental tracks that I've compiled over the years from a bunch of different genres, and I kind of just put them on an album, but like it doesn't reflect the music that I really make and perform live, because I kind of have two careers. I have Mykey Massacre the artist, and then Mykey Massacre the composer session musician, where I kind of create instrumental music to be shopped around for commercials, advertisements, and stuff. So the music on the album, that kind of stuff. But the music I do for my band, that's all singles that I release throughout the years.
Okay, because I did notice that the first two of the composer albums, 99% of it's instrumental. There's very little vocals on them.
Yeah, and it's like mostly it's a lot of it's rock, but some of it's random genres too. Like there's some country, some funk. Yeah. It does throw a little people off. So like when I try not to really acknowledge it when I'm kind of like doing things, because it's almost like it's a different facet of my career. Just using the same name. I probably should have put it under a different name, to be quite honest, when I did it. But when I never intended to perform my music live when I first started recording my singles. It was kind of just an outlet. But then I started performing my music live, and then I kind of almost merged into two different identities, so to speak.
Okay.
So yeah.
So very therapeutic playing in a session, like the studio, as opposed to playing live. Explain the difference for you.
Yeah. So well, this is my studio. It's my bedroom. Okay. That's where I record everything. It's a lot more controlled here. Since I'm the only person here, I'm the only person that I have to worry about. I'm the only person that I need to take into account, and it's a lot more of a controlled environment. So it's a lot more predictable.
Right.
It's not. I wouldn't say it's less stressful because I have to deal with myself, and I'm my own worst critic, and I'm my own, biggest, pusher. So I could make the argument, depending on the circumstance, being in the studio is arguably more stressful and a lot more pressure than when I'm performing live, where there's other people to rely upon, which takes the pressure off of me. And, it's a live setting. Anything can happen. You're kind of expected to just roll with the punches in a live setting. But in a studio setting, when you're putting out product, you have all the time in the world to work on it. So it's got to be good. And if it's not good, then that's kind of like you didn't do your job.
Yeah, I hear you. So I did want to talk a little bit about Limitless Composer. the first one. There's a couple of
Yeah.
songs I did want to touch on. Open Fire, for instance. Talk about that one a little bit. That one was a really solid track. I mean, I
Yeah,
enjoyed the hell out
so
of that.
that's actually good that you mentioned that one because I like that one so much that I actually re-recorded it and added lyrics to it, and I even added a whole bridge section because
I noticed that.
wanted to make an actual song out of it. So I've actually done that with a couple of the songs on these Limitless Composer albums where I've either taken parts or sections and I've reworked them. In fact, the new song, Night Smasher, is basically just a compilation of sections from my different instrumental tracks that I've kind of merged into one and then recorded vocals over. But Open Fire was like the first one of those I decided to do it with because it's like I'm not ripping anyone off. It's my own song. I'm basically just expanding on my existing song, and that's what I did. So that was one of my favorite songs off that record. And then I was like, there's so much more to be done with this song, rather than just have like part A, part B, repeat part A, repeat part B. I needed to make something.
Yeah.
Like this. Added lyrics, added a bridge section, added harmony guitar solos like Iron Maiden would do. Then I added another guitar solo, and I just turned it into like, I guess I would say kind of like a power metal type song.
Yeah, yeah. It definitely the rework is definitely a lot more expanded.
Yeah.
But yeah, off of that first one, that one really caught my ear, as well as Headbangers Heaven.
Yeah, Headbanger Heaven. Oh yeah, man. I haven't listened to that in a long time. That took a long time to record. The guitars solos were quite difficult in that. Yeah. A lot of different takes I had to piece together for that one. It was not easy. And these are songs that I recorded back about 7-8 years ago at this point. So I didn't have the technology that I have now. Like I did it on like my old laptop that I like would freeze on me every 10 minutes. So like it took a long time just to get one song out because I was at the mercy of the technology that was available to me at the time. So it took a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, almost quite literally. At least the tears were literal, just to get these songs out.
So talk about the songwriting process for you.
Yeah. Well, I'm an instrumentalist before anything, so the songwriting process always starts with music that I make on my guitar. Sometimes I'll hear music, whether I'm at the gym or I'll listen to a song or I'll discover a new song and something will pique my interest and I'll get inspired to kind of make something of my own with that as my inspiration, and then I'll just come up with something on the guitar, and then if I'm dealing with something personal at the time, I'll make lyrics based on that. But sometimes, if not, I'll just try and come up with a concept. Like a lot of my earlier material, the lyrical content was a lot more based in my personal life.
Okay.
But in more recent year or so, the topics have been a little bit more theatrical, I guess, and not as grounded in my personal life, because how many times can I write the same song over and over again? So
true.
The lyrical content has been a bit tougher. The musical part is always easy because that's naturally where I'm at. Like I don't naturally consider myself like a lyricist or a vocalist. It's just something I do because it needs to be done for the songs. But like the instrumental, that's where I feel like I excel, and that's where most of my efforts and energy go towards.
Yeah, it's definitely evident that it's a passion. It's not just a hobby.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. Then on the second one, go for Gang Insane. That one, the reason I asked that one is because that was the first one I heard from that one with lyrics, and I'm like, you know what, it's a damn good song. So talk about that one.
So that's a song I was actually commissioned to make. So a friend of mine down in Texas, his name is Ethan, I guess I'm going to give him a shout out and a plug. He's trying to self-fund an animated series, and the name of the show is called Go For It. It's like supposed to be a pun, go for it, but it's the word gopher, like the animal, go for it. So several years ago, he found me on, I think it was a freelancer platform called Fiverr, and he commissioned me to make a 45-second intro song for an animated series he's working on. And I did, and hopefully hopefully he'll have the ability to take off with that show, because I think it's a great song. I think it's fun. It's catchy. There's even a little video on YouTube. Like there's a little video. He hired an animator to make a video, so that's on YouTube.
Yeah. And the other one on there, which caught me off guard, was Big Country.
Yeah. So that's one of those songs I was telling you about, exploring many different genres. That's just a riff I came up with years ago, like probably in 2019. I had an acoustic guitar at my ex's house in Connecticut, and when I would get bored, I would just play it there, and that's where I came up with that. And since I created it on acoustic guitar, that's why the song was largely recorded on the acoustic guitar. And again, that's one of the songs that I created with the intent of maybe getting a placement in an advertisement, or I don't know, maybe like a Wrangler jeans commercial or something, or a pickup truck commercial. I don't know, but
yeah,
that's was the intent with the songs on those Limitless Composer records.
So that's pretty much the intent for those ones, is hoping somebody would pick
all of those short little instrumental songs, exploring different genres. The intent for those is to be kind of shopped around for like sync licensing purposes, or to just showcase a portfolio for people who are looking to hire me to compose for them. I'll be like, hey, I can do this, and here's an example of what I do, and it's some random genre, mostly rock though. That's obviously what I do. And all of my music, my Mykey Massacre music that I play live with my band, that's all my own songs. I do those just for me. That's the intent of being in a band and being as, my artist identity.
All right. And I got to tell you, Just Let Me Rot.
Yeah.
That song, that one kicked you in the nuts.
Thank you.
Just gonna put that out there.
That's an example of one of the songs that I want to be as part of my Mykey Massacre identity, as the artist and my band. We play that one live. We played it every single show. It's part of a staple of our set. It's one that definitely I try to get the crowd really moving on, because it's one of our faster and heavier songs.
Yeah, most definitely. You can tell. So talking about that, you got some upcoming shows, some big ones coming up.
Yeah, actually, we got two big ones coming up. One at the end of the month on August 23rd. We're playing with our friends in a band called Witch Force. They're a local band who's actually getting pretty big. They have an album release show that day, and they invited us to play with them. That's a big deal for us, because we always like playing with them. It's actually going to be our last show, at least for now, with our current rhythm guitarist, Pete, who's been my friend since I was 8 years old.
Okay.
But he moved to New Jersey, so it's a little bit difficult for him to play with us moving forward. And then after that, we're playing October 10th at the Brooklyn Monarch with one of my favorite bands and one of my biggest inspirations for my music, this band called Bat. They're out of Richmond, Virginia. We're playing with them on October 10th, and I'm so stoked about that show, because it's the first time I'm actually playing with one of my top favorite bands. So I'm excited, but a little nervous. And it's also supposed to be our first show with our new guitarist. So in between those two shows, we're going to try and use it as an opportunity to get the new guitarist up to speed. And I think we'll have about maybe 5 weeks to do that. And I don't know if it'll be a problem, because he's really good. And he already came into an audition knowing 5 songs, which is almost half the set. So nice. I don't anticipate it's going to be an issue at all catching him up to speed.
And then who's the headliner for that show?
Yeah, Voivod is actually headlining. And they're like, legends from the 80s. They're from up
Yeah.
north in Canada. And I don't think they play out in the States too often, if I'm not mistaken. So I think it's going to be a pretty big deal. And I expect a pretty big crowd. I just hope that they
Oh
come
yeah.
early because we're going on first. So hopefully they'll at least be there to see us, or at least some people.
Yeah. Um, so let's talk about who is your main influence for your sound
Yeah.
overall.
So if I were to turn my computer around, you'd be able to see a Judas Priest Painkiller poster that I'm staring at. But you can't see it because it's literally behind my computer. But Judas Priest has been and always will be my favorite band of all time. I've
Yeah, what's your favorite? Is that your favorite album too, Painkiller?
It's a tie between Painkiller and Screaming for Vengeance. In my opinion,
Okay.
those are the two greatest albums of all time, and I can't decide which one I like better. But I've loved them since I was 3 years old. Um, they're my absolute favorites. Glenn Tipton is my idol. He's my biggest guitar inspiration, and they're always my favorites. In terms of some more modern bands, even though I
Yeah.
use that a bit loosely because some of these bands are still kind of old, but that have a real influence on my writing style and the sound my band plays. There's always a trio that comes to mind. One of them is this band called Inepsy. They're not around anymore, but they're from Montreal. They play a style very similar to the style I make. That is another one of them, which is why I'm so excited to
Okay.
play with them.
Yeah.
And then another one is this band called Midnight, who I actually just saw
Yep.
this past Sunday at the Brooklyn Monarch. All three of those bands are hugely influential on me in the more recent years.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw Midnight open for Slayer quite a few years ago, and they were it was different. I didn't
Yeah,
expect them to be opening for Slayer, so that
yeah,
was a good
yeah,
show.
yeah.
But
I love those guys. They're so good.
yeah. Um, what's your take on the use of AI in the industry?
I am vehemently against AI. I hate it. I think AI in I could go on for hours about this. AI in the world of creatives, I think, has no place. Especially as a session musician, as an aspiring composer, it's could potentially take away work from me. Um, I I don't respect it. I don't believe in it. I think it has no place in the arts. I make sure never to use it for anything creatively. I hire a guy to do my album art. I hire a mastering engineer to master my music, and then everything else I do myself. Um, I play my guitar, I play the bass, I record my own vocals, I mix myself. I don't know how to play drums, but I program them manually. Though I'm hitting them
Yeah.
myself, so it's not like I'm to come up with anything. So yeah, no, I am against AI as it pertains to the arts and music.
All right. Who would be your favorite composer of all time?
Uh, I mean, I guess I would have to say Glenn Tipton of Judas Priest.
Okay.
He's pretty much their main songwriter,
Yep.
and I just I love everything he does. He comes up with technical pieces of music that are also very catchy. In my
Yeah.
opinion, those are like the two most important things when creating a song. It's something that you want to be people to be impressed by, but it's also something you want people to be able to listen to and appreciate just listening to it. And I think he does that better than or just as good as anybody else.
Yeah. All right. So, what's your opinion on the scene where you're at right now?
Um, it's actually I actually think it's gotten pretty decent. For a while, it was dead. Um, and then I feel like since I got back into it post pandemic, since
Yeah.
I started to get really back into it, it's gotten pretty good. There's a lot of local bands that play like a similar style to me. Like it's like kind of like a 80s throwback style. And there's a lot of local bands here in New York that kind of play that style as well. And I think it's awesome. And I look forward to playing with a lot of my colleagues throughout the 5 boroughs.
All right. Mikey, do you have a message to your fans before we wrap it up?
Thank you for watching this. First of all, thank you. Thank you for supporting me through the years. Check out my new song on September 4th. Let me know what you think. And hopefully you can make it out to the show. And then I would personally like to thank you for having me tonight. Thank you.
Well, you're very welcome, Mikey. You have a good night and keep thrashing.
Thank you.
And we'll be
You
in
too.
touch.
Awesome.